Hey, this is Max. Welcome back to another CSR2 video. I'm here with Legend of the Track. I'm going to give you my quick take on this event. First things first, this is a long event, 90 races. And again, you have a 300% bonus at race 59. And then things should escalate starting from race 61, which usually becomes the more challenging half mile runs. Then you have your speed traps. And then you have, again, your hurdle races somewhere around race 72 and then 76 and 79. These speed traps are always somewhat difficult and probably will need the cars pretty substantially upgraded depending on which one you're using. So that brings us to the lock-ins. Lock-in number 6 is the F1 itself, so I'm not going to really discuss that. If you have the parts, build it. Probably won't take stage 6s to get through those last 10 races. Lock-in number 1 is where you definitely want to put in something that's as close to fully maxed as possible. It doesn't make sense to have a car in this particular lock-in with all these options and have it to be missing too many parts. It just doesn't benefit you. The higher the tier, the better, and the closer to fully maxed, the better. But ultimately, fully maxed tier 4 over a tier 5 that's missing too many stage 6 and parts, because in the end, the challenges will be adjusted based on the car you have, and it's always better to have a fully maxed car. Starting in with lock-in number 2 is where things get more interesting. You have a choice of 3 cars here from the Trinity Cup, basically, and that's about it. There's both the Gold Star and Purple Star versions, and they're all usable, so that's good. Out of these, I would say your best shot at not getting stuck with a lower upgrade car would be the Veneno Roadster, because it's probably going to be better for the speed traps, although none of these are really going to be great without some stage 6s. So keep in mind, these are not cars that you're going to get away with stage 5 only. You will need stage 6s for these. Once you get beyond lock-in number 2, you start to have to use the prize cars from various parts of the event. I'm going to tell you up front that out of these, the strongest car when it comes to having stage 5 only and being able to do everything is the R18 e-tron Quattro. The Senna GTR is also very good in that it does 8.3s as stage 5 only and is probably the second fastest at stage 5 only. The rest of these guys are 9.0 and slower cars, and that's going to mean that in the later races, they won't be able to beat the half-mile times without stage 6s. These guys may very well get near the end without stage 6s for the half-mile times, but between these two, this is the only guy that does really good speed traps, whereas this one, while it's good, you can't really push it too far beyond what the dyno says, so you're kind of limited in that sense. Given that, but you have to understand also that only this car and this version of this car is lockable for lock-in number 3. Therefore, I would still put this car in for lock-in number 3 because I don't have any other real choice unless I want to leave this car out and basically use some of the others. And I don't think I want to do that because this car is ultimately still stronger and relatively easy to fusion up compared to either the, particularly to the CLK GTR, the Victor, the SC20 are not that hard on fusions, and the R18 is so good that you want to save it for the tougher races near the end. So for lock-in number 3, my recommendation is this, but barring that, you're probably going to want to put one of these 3 in, and out of these 3, this is the one with the easiest speed trap setups. Although all of them are okay for speed trap, they're just not super good, except this one actually beats its own dyno speed trap by quite a substantial margin and carries probably the highest speed. Once you get to lock-in number 4, you're now eliminating whatever you use for lock-in 3, and you can only use the prize cars. The Senna GTR is no longer an option here, so you're stuck picking from these 4. And out of these, right now, I would say at this point, if I didn't use one of these 3 in the first lock-in 3, I would put the weaker car probably in this lock-in and save the R18 e-tron for lock-in number 5. That is based on experience from the last series of events that the hardest speed trap may very well go to lock-in number 5 for race 79. If they change the order, of course, all this stuff gets changed. All I'm saying is that the e-tron all around is the strongest car here. So whichever lock-in we feel may get the hardest challenge is the one you want to put it into. So for me, at least, I'm going to put it in lock-in number 5. So that kind of breaks down my lock-ins. It's going to be the F1, the Senna GTR, SC20 is the most likely choice here. I'm sorry, F1, the Roadster Veneno, Senna GTR, SC20, and then R18 are the orders that I'm going to go with. But that's, again, dependent a lot on what you have built, and whether any of your prize cars have you ever tried to get any stage 6s or gotten lucky and gotten some stage 6s. In the end, I don't think you're going to make it through this event for any of these lock-ins without some stage 6s, maybe with the exception of lock-in 5 for the R18. That car is so strong, it may very well make it through on stage 5 only, but the other cars probably will get stuck and will need at least some type of strong stage 6. For the SC20 and some of the other cars, I noticed typical of tier 5, body, trans, nitrous are all important for a purpose of making the car a lot faster, and then engine may be good if you get it for the speed traps. So keep that in mind for the overall performance of the cars. Those are probably going to be your top stage 6s to look for. If you're stuck with just turbo and intake, well, you may be stuck at some point in the event. Ultimately, the last 10 races, again, I don't think the developers are going to expect you to have a ton of upgrades on that F1, and certainly none of us really have any fusions, so I'm not sure how hard these last 10 races are going to be, but I suspect they're not going to be too bad. But without fusions, it's very hard to say how far we're going to get on stage 5 only. In any case, that is my quick take and lock-in review for this event. Let me know what you think. If you have any questions, feel free to ask them. I have limited information, so I can't answer everything, but I'll try to answer what I can. If you like the video, leave a like. If you like my channel, hit the subscribe button and the bell so you get notifications when I put up new videos. And as always, thank you for watching my videos. I'll catch you next time.